Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We're on Chapter 10, Lesson 8, page 751. This one is called Multiplication as Scaling. It's a little confusing, so just follow along, and I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Scaling is the process of resizing a number when you multiply a fraction that is greater or less than 1. So here I have 3 fractions, but they're all being multiplied by 2. And you will notice after we finish multiplying them that the bigger the fraction, the bigger the answer. The bigger the fraction you multiply by, the bigger the answer you will get. So let's begin. C method, times plus. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 fifths times 2 over 1 equals 12 fifths. 5 will go into 12 at least twice. Then there's going to be 2 left over, 2 fifths. Carry the denominator over. Okay, do the C times plus. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 halves. Wrong number. So we have 6 over 2. 2 will go into 6 a total of 3 times. Okay, number 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 5, 6, 7, 7 fourths. Now I can simplify so that I have 1 times 7 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. That's not right. Okay, we're going to do the C method. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7 fourths. 2 over 1, we have 2 will go into 2 once, 2 will go into 4 twice. 1 times 7 equals 7. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 will go into 7 at least 3 times with 1 half left over. Okay, the purpose of scaling is to see that when you multiply a number by a fraction, if you multiply by a whole number, it goes up. If you multiply by a fraction that's less than 1, it will go down. So here, let me explain. We're going to plot on the number line. Then we're going to plot the products on the number line. So our first product is 2 and 2 fifths. So it'd be about right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 and 2 fifths would be about right there. The next one is 3. 3 could be right there. And then 3 1/2. We can compare the products and we can circle that the products are greater than, less than, or equal to 2. So 2 was our number that was multiplied by each of them. So is the product or the answer greater than 2? Yep. Greater than 2? Yep. Greater than 2? Yep. So they are all greater than 2. Multiplying a number by a fraction greater than 1 results in a product that is greater. So if we took 2 and times it by a half is less than 1. So the answer is going to be less than 2. But if we took 2 times 1 1/2, this is greater than 1. So the answer is going to be greater than 2. It's called scaling. It's kind of like estimating. Multiply the number 2 by 3 fractions less than 1. Okay, we can do that. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. And that will simplify down to 1/2. Okay, turn that into a fraction. 2 times 2 equals 1. And then turn that into a fraction. And of course we could simplify first, but I'm just going to go ahead and multiply it out. We have 10 eighths. 8 will go into 10 at least one time with 2 eighths left over, which will simplify down to 1/4. Okay, we have our 3 fractions. We can plot on the number line. So the first one is a half. And the second one is a 1. And the third one is 1 1/4. Okay. Compare the products. Circle whether the products are greater than, less than, or equal to 2. Well, 2 times 1/4 made it quite a bit less than 2. 2 times 1/2 made it less than 2. 2 times 5/8 made it way less than 2. So they're all less than 2. So multiplying a fraction by a fraction less than 1 results in a product that is less than the number. Okay, we're going to skip that one and skip that one. Let's go to the practice. This is where it gets fun. Without multiplying, told you this is where it gets fun. Circle whether the product is greater than, less than, or equal to the whole number. Okay, is this greater than 1 or less than 1? Okay, it's less than 1. So whenever we times something that's less than 1, the answer is going to be less than. And I'll work this one through just to prove it to you. So the answer is 1/4. 1/4 is definitely less than the whole number 2. Okay, now you see how the pattern is. Let's see what you can do. 10 times 1 3/5. 1 3/5 is greater than 1. So is the answer going to be greater than 10, less than 10, or equal to 10? You're right. It's going to be greater than, because that number is greater than 1. This is called scaling. 1 3/4 times 4. Okay, this number is bigger than 1. So when you times it by 4, is the answer going to be greater than 4, less than 4, or equal to? You're right. 12 times 5, 6. Ooh, that's not quite a whole number. That is less than 1. So when we times that, times 12, is 12 going to be greater than, less than, or equal to? The answer, is it the answer going to be greater than 12, less than, or equal to? You're right, because that is less than 1. Number 7, 1 1/3 times 2. That is greater than 1. So when we times 1 1/3 times 2, is the answer going to be greater than 2, less than 2, or equal to 2? You're right, it's going to be greater than. Number 8, 3/5 times 6. That is not a whole number. That is less than 1. So when we times that by 6, is the answer going to be greater than 6, less than 6, or equal to 6? You're right. It's going to be less than. Without multiplying, circle whether the unknown in each of the equation is greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, right here we have 1 2/3 times 4. That is greater than 1. So our answer, when we times it by 4, is our answer going to be greater than 4, less than 4, or equal to 4? Okay, that's greater than 1. So then our answer is going to be greater than. Over here on number 10, 8 times 4/5. 4/5 is not quite a whole number. It is less than. So is the answer, when you times 8, is the answer going to be greater than 8, less than 8, or equal to? Yes, you are right. Okay, here we go. They have a quirky little number here, 4 over 4. That equals 1 whole number, right? So we could actually turn it into that. 1 times 5 equals, well, 5. Is the answer greater than, less than, or equal to? It's our only one we've answered this way because 4 out of 4 is a whole number. And remember the identity property, anything times 1 does not lose its identity. Number 12, 6 times a third. That is less than 1. So is the answer, when you times it by 6, is it going to be greater than 6, less than 6, or equal to? You are right. Okay, we're actually going to skip this page and go right to the homework. Wrong button. There we go. Again, we're doing scaling, where we figure out if it's greater than, less than, or equal to. And we plot on a number line. So, ooh, look at this one. They don't want us to multiply. Without multiplying, circle whether each product is greater than, equal than, or less than, or equal to. So you have 4 times 1/7. 1/7 is not quite a whole number. So when you times 4 times 1/7, is the answer going to be greater than 4, less than 4, or equal to 4? Good job. 12 times 2 and 5/6. Okay, 2 and 5/6 is greater than 1. So when I times this number times 12, is my answer going to be greater than 12, less than 12, or equal to? Because this is bigger than 1. This whole number is bigger than 1. Marcel spent 4/5 of her allowance on a pair of jeans. If she received $15 for an allowance, did Marcel spend more, less, or equal to $15 on the jeans? Explain. All right, so we are going to do 4/5 times $15. Now, do we have to multiply? Because we know that that is less than 1. So the answer should be less than. And how can we explain? Well, 4/5 is less than 1. D used 2 1/3 cups of sugar for the cake recipe. If the amount of sugar the container holds is 3 times the amount she used, does the container hold more than, less than, or equal to? So 2 1/3 times 3. Looking at this number, is that greater than, less than, or equal to 1? You're right, it's greater than. So we're going to say 3 is greater than 1. And then we're going to say that it's more than. Get the right terminology here. Number 5, Derek ran 5/8 of a race before he stopped for a break. If the race was 6 miles long, did Derek run more than, less than, or equal to 6 miles before he took a break? Explain. Okay, so 3/8 times 6. Okay, so looking at this number, is that greater than, less than, or equal to 1? It's less than, right? So less than. And they want us to explain, we can say that 3/8 is less than 1. Which one doesn't belong? Circle the expression that does not belong based on scaling. Okay, I'm looking at all of these, and I'm trying to find something that is similar. Okay, they're all being multiplied by 6 in one way or another. But I'm looking at this one, and this one is greater than, and greater than. But this one is less than. So that's not going to belong, because if we do that, the answer will be less than 6. All the other ones have products greater than 6. Vocabulary check. Fill in the blank with the correct term or number to complete the sentence. Blank is the process of resizing a number when you multiply by a fraction that is greater than or less than 1. Think about what this whole lesson's been. Scaling. Good job. Okay, show me your work and turn it in.